Yo, welcome to episode 36, A Dose of Rags. We are here, buddy. Midsummer. Wait, is it it's beginning of summer, god damn it. Woo! It is a wild summer already, baby. It is wild, man. God damn, bro. What is going on, man?
Doesn't feel like summer out here in Jersey, that's for sure.
You, I know it's raining over there, right?
It's fucking just nothing but rain out here.
Bro, I'm just seeing a lot of bikinis. But I see a lot of twiggies out here in LA. You know, the problem is they're all twigs, right? A lot of twigs, right? You don't see the curves as much as you see the twigs. I mean, I still see the curves, but the twigs, right? Because LA is full of these women that just want to be super duper skinny. But yeah, and that's also the new kids that are coming up are like really skinny kids for some reason. You know, like you see these college girls and they're like...
It's crazy how that shit goes through phases.
Yeah, I miss those days. I kind of miss those days.
There's one phase, I'll tell you, that I'm proud of the new college girls for picking up. But that's that college girls are finally wearing females are finally wearing comfortable jeans. Have you seen that? They're kind of baggy, and I'm like, good for you. You figured out half the fucking battle in life is to be comfortable, right?
Yep.
And, you know, because you see the women had this fit in their fucking skinny jeans back. God damn, that looked awful.
I remember back in college, it was the girls in my class that had the baggy jeans. I mean, the baggy sweats and like Tim's or flip flops and a tight T-shirt that always turned me on. I always figured they're here to learn, they're here to focus, they're here to get it in as far as education is concerned. Whereas the super fly girls that came in done up with the makeup and the hair and the curvies. I mean, yeah, they look fly. But there was something about them that always, kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Well, look, nowadays, it's all about comfort. It's about women empowerment. So that's good for you, Dose. You got a daughter.
Got two.
You get her some baggy jeans and be like, I've been watching the fashion.
Can we quickly continue the conversation we were having offline before we hit record?
Well, I was going to go into that, but I was just telling you I had a busy week last week, and at some point I got into a road rage incident, which was not me, because I was egging him on. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it takes two to tango.
Armenian man in his 60s and 70s. The only reason I know he's Armenian, I was in Glendale, and there's a lot of Armenians out there. Anyway, I cut him off. Like, everyone cuts people off in LA, right? I was like, oh shit, I got to take a right soon. Put my blinker on, and he did not want to let me go. And I cut him off, and he sees me, and he's like, he's just like, fuck you. And I'm laughing at him. I'm waving. I'm doing exactly what I probably shouldn't be doing, which is showing him that I really don't care, right? And I'm smiling. I'm waving. I'm like, come on. I'm like, this is an old man. Like, is he serious going to take me on right now? This guy's like, literally starts following. I'm taking a right turn. I'm taking a left. I'm like, the guy's okay. He's definitely following me. So I'm like mentally like, okay, well, let's hope he does. I don't think he has a weapon. He's an older gentleman, right? You never know, though. So I turn in, and it's a parking garage that I usually go to, and I'm like, all right, well, if he comes into the garage, I hope they have cameras. I don't, if I gotta, I'm gonna restrain this man. I'm not gonna officially put up the dukes for a fucking, if I have to fight him, I have to, but if he's got like some Taekwondo shit, you never know, right? So, the gate goes up for the parking garage. I grab my ticket, and then, the gate goes down for the next car. And I'm waiting. The guy just doesn't want to pay to get in the parking garage. So he's just like pissed off. And he just, fuck you. And he goes off. And I'm like, brown man being cheap, fucking, save me. But, yeah, that was the story. But and then we went into, it's weird because then Jay, you mentioned that Armenians are in Little Italy. And Armenians been in LA, by the way, many generations. They're pretty tough out here, and they hold their own. And, they are definitely known for selling drugs and gangs and all that shit, that like the third or fourth generation of them. And they're fucking tough. So anyway, but Jay, you were saying now they're in Little Italy, New York.
Yeah, most of those spots, what used to be Little Italy, all those spots have been taken over by Armenians. And it's funny because a lot of them actually speak Italian, though. Like they've lived in Armenians took over Italy and then came here from Italy. It's
wow.
Crazy.
And so then we said that there's actually we know someone who is Persian who owns an Italian restaurant in Little Italy, New York, which is kind of weird.
And yeah, it is kind of weird, right? A Persian owning an Italian restaurant. But what's funny, what I was telling you was that's actually a lot more common than we realized. Like we had a few, a few family friends growing up, and I mean there was one in Philly, there was one in Phoenix, Arizona, that owned Italian restaurants.
Why is that? Because like Indians only usually own Indian restaurants, or
Mexican,
they will branch out.
Indians own Mexican restaurants, do they not?
But it's not as. Come on, you know one, and I know there's a couple out here, but it's not like that crazy. Most of the time,
are you sure?
Yes, 100%. Most of the time, Indians will take over a chain like a Subway and ruin it. Because India, obviously, Subway restaurants, they were never good. Let's be honest, it's a shit place. But anytime you see an Indian guy putting the mayo on with a ketchup bottle, you probably turn around and say, I got to go to Jersey Mike's. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing worse than putting on the mayo with a ketchup bottle. I don't know why. It's just so unappealing. And then an Indian guy making your sandwich, I mean, that's a vegetarian is making my meat sandwich. You feel me? Like, it's not like he knows what I want.
Don't get it twisted. I, as a vegetarian, have to be like, can I have some extra tomatoes, please? And he gives me a funny look. Anytime I ask him for extra. You know what I mean?
I want some tomatoes. These dirty-ass orange tomatoes. Subway. The vegetables at Subway are always old as shit.
Yeah.
What a shitty chain. But anyway, Indians will ruin chain restaurants. But usually Indians open Indian restaurants, or now Indians will do fusion, right? Indian, Mexican, that's the one that plays pretty good out here. Indian, Chinese, Indo-Chinese, whatever. But why is it that Iranians all of a sudden said, we're Italian?
I think, you know what's I'm only half joking or half being serious, but I think a lot of times Persians could pass as looking like being Italian. I think they kind of
until they get a little older.
Until they get a little older.
Until their accent is like, I'm not Persian, I'm Italian, I'm Persian. Like,
and I think they may have gotten to some of our heads. That's probably what it is right there, bro.
Look, at the end of the day, I gotta commend you guys. Like, if a redneck is going to walk into an Italian restaurant, he ain't walking into an Iranian restaurant, right? Iranian restaurant. Iranian. I said I like a redneck, too. And speaking of that, let's just get into Iran, because it is the hot topic. So this is what I don't understand. And this is what I'm being honest with you. Everyone's reporting that Israel is in a war with Iran. The fact is, the United States and Israel are in a war with Iran. The United States, Trump set them up. I don't know if you guys know that. Because Trump set him up, meeting them and being like, yo, let's talk about taking down your, uranium enrichment, dog. We got to talk about, let's have a meeting. We'll have a few meetings. And guess what? This whole time, Netanyahu is like, Trump, okay, all right, they're not on guard because they think they're having talks with you, right? So they're having talks with you. We can get them. We don't have to have all of our nuclear scientists, you know what I mean, in hiding. We don't have to have our normal general, like our normal army, whatever. We don't have to have them living like they're possibly going to be attacked. And so that's what caught the Iranians off guard, right? Is the United States setting them up. So, look, now Trump's like, we might get involved. No, you've been involved, bro. Just stop lying. It's so obvious. Even Israeli officials have said it, that the United States helped us. I mean, where all the 300 missiles supposed to go to Ukraine went to the Middle East. I wonder where those missiles went. Israel's using the United States naval air bases for fueling. Come on, bro. Here's the thing. So I do understand, and I'm totally against war. Now, you hear conflicting stories that uranium enrichment is at 60% in Iran. They will get to 90%, and they'll have the ability to create or make 12 nuclear warheads. Okay,
yep,
that's the number. Mm-hmm. That's the claim. Now, is that true? I've researched it. I can't figure it out, right? But 60% is also way more than you need for serving people electricity, right?
Sure.
So I don't know. And again, we're very honest here. We take sides. I mean, I don't want to be in a war. I don't want my dollars paying for anything anymore. And especially when a country is not provoked. But again, so here's the thing, Dos, and this is why I think is an interesting question for you. You have family in Iran, but you also acknowledge that this leadership in Iran has ruined Iran.
The
regime has ruined Iran, taken away a lot of rights of people. The life in Iran isn't like it was under the Shah, where it was extremely cultural and beautiful and free. Now, aren't you in a conflicting mindset, which is like, hey, can the free people of Iran be freed from this regime? Or, like, is it like, I'm just really worried about my family residential areas getting hit? Like, and where does your family in Iran stand? Because I think that's such a valid question, because it's almost like you're torn, right?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, what you're saying is pretty much on point, right? I mean, the mullahs have essentially been in charge of that country for the last 50 years. And from my perspective, and again, I'm from the outside looking in, full disclosure, and I know you know this already, but just, full disclosure, I was born in Pennsylvania. So I am as American as I get. My parents immigrated here in the mid-'70s. My father studied out in Penn State, and that's when I was born. And then when 79 rolled around and revolution, my grandfather said, "Don't ever come back." I mean, they've been back to visit, but essentially they ain't come back. So then they had that war with Iraq, Saddam Hussein, all stuff. And I've been to that country 3 times. One of those times when I was 8 was during that war.
Wow.
And I remember coming out, I remember bunkering down a couple of times while Iraq was bombing us with U.S. military, U.S. armed force, basically U.S. jets that Iraq was operating, right?
Wow. So you're obviously 8 years old. You pretty much know what the fuck's going on, right? So you're actually sitting there going, well, we're getting attacked by the country I live in the country my motherland is, which is very, very.
I didn't really understand his involvement at the time. I just knew it was a war against Iraq. So it was just like, we're being attacked by Iraq. Iraq is the enemy, right? I mean, that was my mindset at the time. And I mean, and I'm telling you, what they do is on TV, they put these, these red lights. The TV would be all red. Like, okay, everything's red. You got to bunker down. And we'd bunker down. I remember I was at a friend's house, and his mom was just doing laundry down in the basement. Everything's chill, no big deal. No, everything will be fine. Don't worry. You want some tea? I mean, everyone was so used to it by then. But anyway, I wanted to give that full disclosure. So this is from the outside looking in. As far as I know, my family's concerned, there certainly could be some mixed feelings. Okay, I got some uncles that were a little more hardliner, historically, and some others that were on the other side, right? Ultimately, I believe, in my opinion, the majority of my family, at least, would have preferred how it was back in the day, during the Shah, as far as what the country was.
Okay.
And for me, it is, yes, number one priority is my family okay. Number 2, and Jay, you and I were talking about this offline before we came on, right? Like, you'll see Iranians kind of rooting for Israel, but what they're rooting for is doing enough damage to get that regime completely out, to completely change the government once again. So, depends on how you look at it.
So that's the thing here. Trump is all about helping Israel to do whatever they need to, setting up the regime, but yet vetoing. The news this morning was he vetoed the assassination of the supreme leader.
Was that? Oh, really?
Yeah. There's 3 or 4 news stories about that. I don't know if they're fake or true, but by the way, the supreme leader is a pretty fucking cool name.
I know.
It sounds like the head of the Bloods or something.
Isn't that what King John calls himself in North Korea?
He's something like that. But okay, so I think it's very interesting that you said Iran, people are so used to going to bunkers. I saw over the weekend in Israel, as missiles are landing, there is a rave. People are partying. And then the sirens go off. And there's a bunker at the rave. And you see Israelis literally getting into a bunker, and they're used to it. And it's so weird for me to see that, because in America, we're so spoiled little bitches. If we had those air raids going, and we said bunker down, and we don't even have bunkers, by the way, so we're not prepared. So I guess we'd go into basements, or there's not even basements in LA. We'd go into underground garage, whatever it is. And I can imagine going in there. I can imagine all these impatient kids. I don't want to get the bunker because their phones aren't getting service. They can't. We are so impatient here. I don't even think we could be in bunkers. I'd rather take my chance to die. You know what I mean? Like, that's what my impression is of the good old US of A, is that we are so, that's what we would do. What do you guys?
Fake news. It really alarm, right? There's no one's coming. Fake news.
I mean, you remember how mad people were to put on a mask? Can you imagine? They got to bunker down for 3 hours.
I nailed on the head with that one.
I mean, it just came to me. I'm like, Iran too has bunkers. So that means that obviously, that's why the Hamas built underground tunnels, right? All this shit comes down to hiding in a dark fucking enclosed area. Well, anyway, so let's go back to this fucking war. Basically, what happens from here? Now Iran is also saying they want to talk. They canceled the nuclear talks with Trump, as they should, right?
That was scheduled for yesterday, right? So as you get readjusted there.
Well, that's why.
Trump gave them, and during one of the last talks, Trump gave them 60 days. Remember that, right? On the 61st day, that's when Israel attacked Iran. Trump gave him like a 60-day ultimatum. Now, he didn't say 60 days and we're going to come attack you, but he gave him you have 60 days to kind of figure this out, right?
I don't know if I believe that, because I believe this is a setup from Trump.
Could be. This is what Western media is telling us, so you could be right about that. Where do we get the real information from?
I don't know. That's what this Western media is telling us, 61st day. I don't believe it. I believe that, bro.
And answer me this question.
How does setup happen? Your boy walks up to the guy and is like, yo, we good. And then your other boy from behind hits that motherfucker, catches him off guard. What's the key to a good attack? Catching someone off guard, sneak, right? Sneak attack. To me, all of a sudden, Trump moved 300 missiles from Ukraine to the Middle East. All of a sudden, our naval bases are full of fuel, ready to go, right? And Israel just flies into them, and they're fueled up. It's not so easy to set up all these logistics, man, right?
You're kind of saying there was way too much coordination,
way too much
efficient
coincidences, ready to go.
Yeah.
And now Trump is saying we might get involved. And over the weekend, I mean, did you see Netanyahu's happy birthday to Trump?
God. Was it Marilyn Monroe style? But tell me it was Marilyn Monroe style.
Oh my God. Watch this, dude. Watch this. Oh my God. I can't believe you haven't seen this. Dude, it's literally Marilyn Monroe style.
He sang to him, like legit?
Okay, here it is. I just want you to watch this shit, because this shit horrified me, because it just kind of showed me how much of a devil Netanyahu is. Now, I also, again, I'm about taking out the supreme leader. I'm not going to lie. But I'd rather have God take him out. The motherfucker's like 80 years old. You know what I'm saying? I would have rather have the motherfucker just die of natural causes. How much stress can that guy take? All you got to do is stress him out, right? Eventually he goes up.
It wouldn't feel right having Netanyahu take out the regime, and then all of a sudden Iran's got to be on a debt of gratitude for fucking Netanyahu for the rest of the future.
But here's the thing: what also is, let's be honest, if the supreme leader is out, it's not like the Shah lifestyle is just going to come back into play. You still have a lot of extreme people over there that are going to run their government, that are in place in case something. They already know the Shah is going to. The supreme leader anyway can go any day, right? Go ahead.
All right.
I want to start by wishing a double happy birthday. First, happy birthday to you, President Donald J. Trump. You've been an extraordinary leader, decisive, courageous, clear vision, clear action. You have done great things for Israel. You've been an extraordinary friend to the Jewish state and to me personally. We've known each other for many years, and we appreciate what you're doing now, helping protect Israeli lives against the criminal regime in Iran. I want to wish also a 250th happy birthday to the American Army.
All right. I can't.
Wait. But okay, I guess you get the point. It's fine. But I mean, he just keeps on and on. And you know what's crazy? He wishes President Trump that. Trump does not want anyone to know the United States is involved. But Netanyahu's like, thank you again for helping us against the Iranians. And Netanyahu's so sneaky, he makes it so clear that we are involved, right? And happy birthday, a double happy birthday. What does that even mean? I've never heard of a double happy birthday.
Well, he wanted to wish Trump a happy birthday and then the U.S. military, whatever the fuck, 250 years or whatever the hell
that's what you're referring to. Okay,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It just sounds like such ass kissing, right?
It is.
Smooch.
What do you mean?
Here's the thing. What is Netanyahu? This guy? So the independent journalism says, a few of them are saying that Netanyahu is just saving his ass from going to jail. He is just saving his political career. Remember, this guy was in the seat in 1996, right? Whatever the fuck, way back, right? He'd been in the seat for a while. A lot of Jewish people aren't for this guy. You know, there is a lot of internal protesting going on. There's a lot of people that are like, F you. You're putting us in danger's way. You're committing a genocide. They're Jewish people who are very honest about the truth, right? And now he not only is still fighting with the Houthi, Lebanon, Hamas, apparently. That's not really a fair fight. But now Iran, which is the first real fight, right? It's almost like Jake Paul, right? He's going in. He's finally picking someone who, has some experience and actually has a legit chance to, again, and we're seeing innocent Israelis die, and no one wants to see that. Even if they do believe in Zionism, I still don't believe any innocent person who is not involved militarily should be, their life should be at risk. So now he's picking on, how is this man handling this many fucking wars?
Let me just say that Jake Paul was very well played. Very well played.
And, that was in a moment. I thought he didn't write that, so it was a good
very,
thing.
very well played. Very well played, yeah. That's as good as it gets right there.
How does this man fight 3 wars at once? He's shot so many missiles at Gaza, he's destroyed the place. We all know that. He's basically, look, how many missiles can he have left? That's why the 300 went there. He's running out of missiles, but you know how hard it is? Missile production ain't just like making in a Chinese factory making a fucking toy.
He's running out of defense missiles, and I think that Iran's strategy has been I don't know how much of this you read, but they've been firing. Obviously, you've seen this. They're firing off these ballistic missiles, right?
Yeah, which are hard.
Those missiles are old as shit. They're trying to get rid of their old missiles first, and what they're trying to do is bait Israel into using all the defense mechanisms against these old things. And Israel can't stop these hypersonic missiles that are more new.
The hypersonic go like this. They go straight up and then they go straight down. So basically, what they do is you can't see them. It's just like, right? They're the new style of attack is you can't see the missile, so you can't fire at it. Now, again, Iran has way more missiles long term than Israel right now. So, but they're saying Iran, again, the Iron Dome has not worked as well as they would hope. There are some people that have passed away in Israel because of the shots. But at the end of the day, this is now officially a war. So it's like, there's Iranians who are dying, right? Whether they're nuclear scientists or not, you have to understand that some of these people are forced into the government. Right?
Well, there's a mass evacuation kind of going on this evening in Iran from Tehran right now because so they've been, there's been some messages being sent by Israel and by Trump warning the Iranian, civilians to get out of Tehran. So, that's where most of my family actually lives, in Tehran. I'm not sure. I have not heard if they are evacuating or not, but I just know that there's some posts on social media on Instagram that there's like, if you ever see the 405 on holiday, that's what it looks like right now in Tehran.
Wow. I can't blame him. I got to imagine it's just like, again, fuck, man, I pray for the people of Israel and Iran. Look, no one wants anybody to pass, especially when they're just going about their day, doing their thing.
Totally agree. But
yeah, we're going to keep a close eye on this, obviously, and prayers to your family does most of all. Hopefully they are stayed safe. I can't imagine having a family in the, again, in that way of harm. So yeah. All right. So we kind of skipped over personal shit.
We can come back to it.
I had something funny happen this weekend to me. By the way, okay, let's go into this first. It was Father's Day.
Yes, it was.
So I know Doshi had something to say, but the funny thing that happened to me.
You guys can wish me happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you very much.
What I will say is that when I went to go visit my two uncles yesterday, and I called my dad. So Father's Day for me was, definitely full of some fathers.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the night, I'm fucking hungry. I stop at Taco Bell. I'm like, I'm not eating fast food either, but I couldn't help it. But I was just going to get bean burrito. I'm like, I'm going to do something harmless there, right? No more meat from Taco Bell. Anyway, I order, and the kid in the drive-thru is like 20 years old, right? And he gives me my food. He goes, Happy Father's Day. I go, first time in my fucking life, someone wished me a Father's Day. And all of a sudden, like, I was on edible, right? That's why I wanted hungry. All of a sudden, it hits me. I'm like, damn, what if I was a father, right? All of a sudden, I'm like, should I be a father? Like, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, like, these high thoughts are hitting me. And I'm driving home Taco Bell like, damn, did I miss my calling as a father? But you know what's even funnier? Wait, when he said it to me, I got so shocked. I said it to him. I go, Happy Father's Day to you too, but and the kid is like 19.
I was getting ready to
looked at me.
I was getting ready to ask, but what did you say?
I just said nervously, Happy Father's Day, you too, bro. Like, and he just looked at me because he's like, you idiot. I'm like 30 years younger than you. But yeah, Father's Day, good day, I guess, for fathers. Some clerk at a store wished me Happy Father's Day. He looked middle aged like me. I said, well, same to you or yours. Well, my uncle, he don't talk much, and he had, he's got dementia.
Sure.
Sure. It's funny, as I walked in the house, I wished him a Happy Father's Day. He goes, when you going to become a father? And he's not said something like that in a long time. Like he has. And I was like, damn. And I said, I already have. I have a dog, whatever. But
hey, that counts.
Yeah.
That counts.
Yeah. So,
you just can't take vacations with your roommate. That's all.
Dos, tell me about what you want to discuss on Father's Day.
Well, look, first of all, Father's Day, I had a, very nice Father's Day. And let me just give you the background. I have a fundamental question. Okay. And maybe the two of you are not fully qualified to answer this, but I think you certainly can. You have an opinion and I want to hear it. Obviously, I would love to hear any audience out there. I would love to hear what they have to say too. The background is this. I went into this Father's Day telling my wife that I don't want to commit to anything. And it's been a busy month and a half, 2 months. Every day has been something. Every weekend has been some kind of obligation, some kind of this, some kind of that, some family, kids this, kids that, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to make any commitment. And of course, her side of the family, they always do both Father's Day and Mother's Day. They have like some kind of like get together with like the extended family, the cousins from New York. We get together at one of the houses and they barbecue and drink and have a good time all day. This year, it was going to be in Queens. And I love going over there. I just didn't feel like committing this year. No problem. My wife was very, very accommodating. Okay. Father's Day comes around. So now it's yesterday and we're lounging and she's asking me a couple of times, like, so do you want to go? Do you want to go? And, I kind of said no. Well, I did say no. And then here's where it came in. Here's where the slight conflict came in. I said, hey, babe, if you, it sounds like you really want to go. And, her father's going to be there too, right? So,
yeah.
You could go if you want, babe.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, yeah, it's fine. Maybe I will. And then I'll just leave the kids here with you. I'm like, oh, wait. You're taking the kids. Your dad loves our kids more than he loves you.
It's okay. Father's Day. I get, you know what I'm saying?
She's like, no, it's Father's Day. They need to spend time with you. And so we had a little
good point too.
So we had a little disagreement there. Okay. Ultimately, no one went, so it didn't really matter. It was a moot point. But here's the fundamental question: if it's Father's Day, do I have to be with my kids?
Wait.
Or
so
do I get to choose?
I think you get to choose. Let me tell you, if it's his day, you're gonna wake up with the kids. You're going to put the kids to bed, right? Already. You got those two locked in, okay? If that day is a day that you don't want to go to Queens, pretty far, and you don't want to commit to something, and just because you just want the day to yourself, that's understandable, man. That's being a human being. Look, I think you should have been very, very surgical and been like, Got family in Tehran. Look at this, what's going on. Tehran, I just, I don't feel like being social. I'll be honest with you. Everyone's going to ask me the same goddamn question. Come on. Like, I'm tired of already Rags has asked me, and all these motherfuckers have asked me all week. All I want to do is have some peace and quiet today. Say a prayer for my family. And just,
so I expect that. Go ahead, Jay. I want to hear what do you think, Jay?
Along that line, what I did for my father, I gave him the best Father's Day thing. I gave him some Taco Bell because that's his favorite thing to eat because he can cheat on his strict ass diet. And I left him the fuck alone to watch soccer. No disturbances. That's all I know.
Yeah, but you're a 40-some-year-old grown ass man, bro. I'm asking you. If when you have small children.
It's what you
choose?
want,
Does the father have to be with their kids on Father's Day, or do they get to choose? And by the way,
I think
we're not single parents. I work from home. I get to see my children.
That's my point. I think that day should be about what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like on Mother's Day, do they have to be with their kids? No, they go for spas. They go for this, that. I think you should be able to do what you want to do.
Also, I got to say this: a lot of people. So this is a different question for a lot of fathers who have joint custody. This is a different question for a lot of fathers who see their kids twice a month, right? This is a question every other weekend. So for them, yeah, they get to spend the day, right? Because it's Father's Day and they're not much of a father, right? Compared to what you are.
And I went through that. I went through that with my oldest. So yes.
So I guess it's a question that changes depending on who you ask, but I feel like
the circumstances.
You should get what you want if you're a good father. If you're a half-ass father, you better make it a great Father's Day for those kids, right? Actually, and this is the question: when you're a shitty father, does Father's Day turn into the biggest day of the year for you to impress your kids? Because at least you want them to love you on Father's Day, right?
Yeah, but if you're a shitty father, chances are you're gonna be shitty on Father's Day too, and then you're just not gonna be around.
Well, I mean, that's the day. Like a shitty father, he gets that good picture with his kids, and then he shows his new girl. Yeah, they love me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the day of the year that they have to be nice to you. So you take advantage of that as a shitty father, and you fucking get them to smile with you in the pics and all that shit.
Yes.
So
yes. I would love to hear it from other fathers out there, clearly you two dipshits who are single and have no spouses and don't have any kids. I had a feeling you were going to side with me on that one, even if that was your organic thought.
By the way, I do have a son because look, my roommate, she just texted me. Your son doesn't give any fucks. He just peed almost on the back of a guy sitting on the wall. And
where are they?
I'm not making that up. They're walking. Oh shit. Listen. So that motherfucker. I'll tell you a funny story. He motherfucker woke up depressed today. My dog, for some reason.
How do you know when your dog wakes up depressed?
He's acting weird. He'll do shit like that. He'll just lay around and he'll give you that mean mug, like fuck you, man. Life ain't pretty. And I'm like, I thought so because he just was like, I could just tell the way he's laying around. Tail ain't wagging as hard. His tail's always wagging, right? So you can literally tell when he's not in a great mood because it don't wag as much, right?
Maybe he's
I gave that motherfucker some Chinese medicine. I used this Chinese medicine, this old back in the day stuff that they have, Eastern medicine they call it, natural herbs, and I gave it to him. And that motherfucker gets high as hell. You know what I'm saying? He's happy as hell.
Have you done that before?
Yeah, I give him that stuff when when I'm gone, she's gone, right? If we're both gone for 8 hours, right? And, 7 hours, it's usually he gets separation anxiety, so you got to give it to him. So, by the way, I am a father in some way.
Okay, fine.
I know but it's still a life, right? I know it's not a human life, but it is a life.
It's too bad I didn't see your roommate post any photos of you on Instagram saying, God bless our dad. Happy Father's Day to the best father in the world.
My dog. Yeah, I get it. You're right. It's not like a real father, but it is.
No, it is. It is. And by the way, can we go back to Jay for a second? I'm kind of curious.
Wait. Before we go to that, I just thought of something.
Okay, go ahead.
So, a lot of these fucking white people are like, I'm a doggy daddy, whatever the fuck they say. I don't think you could call yourself a dad unless you would sacrifice your life for your kid. Right? Right?
Okay.
So, would I sacrifice my life for my dog? I would fight someone for him, but if a car's coming and it's close to hitting him already, if my son was in that or daughter in that position, their car is about to hit him, I'd have to shield them and take the hit, right? But for my dog, I'm like, wait, You only got like 7 years left, bro. Like, wouldn't he want me to be around for longer?
Okay. All right. Fine. Let me give you another.
I don't know. I'm kidding about that because I might give my life for my dog.
Let me give you another hypothetical scenario. It's still kind of extreme, but it's kind of hard to save your dog if he's on the verge of getting run over by a truck. It's really hard. What if you're walking your dog, you're getting a little argument with someone that's also walking their dog, things escalate, next thing you know, the guy pulls out a gun and he points it at your dog.
Points it at my dog.
I'm not asking you to take a bullet for him, like to jump in front of him, but are you going to try to save him?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, that's just going to be my natural reaction. I'm not even be able to control that, right? Because I'm an idiot. I run towards the fire. That's not me naturally, right? I see someone getting their ass whooped on the street, all of a sudden I got to get involved. My dumb ass is, I don't listen to, black, how black people, like the white people go towards the animals, right? The dangerous animals. Like my dumb ass will go towards the fire, right? Because I've done it before, and when you help someone out, it's an addictive feeling. Bro, we've done it together, Dose.
That's why I laughed.
I know that.
I did it to some Asian fucking tourist in New York, and found out the hard way that, so that means I got to testify as well. You know what I mean? That ain't fun. And then all of a sudden I find out the kid that was beating him up was 16. He's bipolar, and his mom's crying in the court. And I'm like, oh my God, what the hell? This kid's mom is here. She's crying. He's 6. They're from a poor neighborhood in Brooklyn. Yeah, he hit this fucking Chinese guy so hard, and I felt bad, and I ran after that kid, but so I don't look. Our natural reaction sometimes doesn't do the right thing, right? I think the older I get, the more I'm likely to reason a little bit and say, hey, the guy has a gun. Now, he's pointing it at my dog. What's the smart thing to do? Smart thing to do is the pepper sprays in my left pocket. Just have it in my hand already when I see this guy's getting aggressive with me. And all I can do is spray him in the eyes, blind him, and run. My dog is half Greyhound, Italian Greyhound. I think he can get it. He can move. You know what I mean? So if my dog was a lazy dog, no, we'd be in trouble. But he knows how to run, bro. Now, I don't know if I have the balls to pull out the pepper spray. I always ask myself, will you have the balls if the guy's got the heat on you to pull out the pepper spray and shoot? Because it's a lot easier if it's in your hoodie. Because that's why if it's winter, I keep it in my hoodie in that open pocket, which is easy to slip out. And again, you guys can tell I've thought this stuff out, right? So in your jeans, though, getting to it is a whole nother level. So, I don't know. But I would tell you, anytime someone's a danger to someone you love or something that you love, you're going to fucking probably do what you got to do, right? Unless you're just a piece of shit.
I get that. But
Jay, let's go back to your dad and how you ruined his Father's Day by not hanging out with him.
I'm curious. You got him Taco Bell. What kind of sauce did you get him? Hot or fire or both? Hot and fire?
I can't. It's too much sodium. He can't. That's what I'm saying. He's got such a.
He can't do hot sauce.
Not anymore. He used to be able to,
man.
but his taste buds have changed so much with this restrictive diet.
Wow.
Can't have hot sauce, anything with sodium.
So he doesn't like. You're saying he doesn't like sodium
anymore? Yeah, the stuff that he used to like.
Wow.
Like his taste buds have changed.
Well, listen,
so
people after surgery, people's taste change hard. Yeah. It's just like those people that wake up and they talk in a whole other language, which that could never be explained after surgery. I mean. Have you heard about that?
Nah, like an actual other language?
You've never heard about that?
Nah, like the language they've never known. It's the
wildest thing. A woman in Nigeria wakes up and she's got an Irish accent from her surgery. I swear to you. Google this for me. Just to put in people waking up from surgery with a different accent. And it's permanent and it's fucking real. It's real. It happens it's happened a lot.
Holy shit. That's bugged out.
Bro, it's crazy to think about that. I drank a little coffee today because I was so tired, bro, that I'm a little bit hyped up, But I can't believe. Have you heard of this, Dose?
It's a rare phenomenon called foreign accent syndrome.
Yeah, it's real. Great name.
Yeah.
It's a speech disorder where someone suddenly starts speaking with what sounds like a foreign accent. Usually after a brain injury, a stroke, neurological trauma, in documented cases after surgery or some kind of general anesthesia. So next time, Rags, you go in for your colonoscopy.
Wait. Go to a video and show us a good example, bro, because there's some that you're like, holy shit.
His accent.
It wasn't until I was in the ambulance on the way to the hospital to actually say, you're aware of the way you're speaking. And I said, oh, I sound like I'm slur. And she said, no, you sound like you can work at a Chinese restaurant. I said, yeah, you look for work in a local China house or something.
Worst couple.
I think the worst part was me, how it affected me. And nobody really understands what it's like to go from being accepted in your local area, you know, and to all of a sudden everybody wants to treat you like you're deaf or you're brain damaged or you're foreign.
Oh my
Sarah
God.
was an IT
Wait. By
specialist
the way, they want to
until a
treat you
severe
like you're
migraine.
foreign. Then she said, I don't want to be treated like I'm foreign. Wait, what's wrong with being foreign?
Oh my God, I'm dying though. She said Rocco Emery.
That's a girl's worst nightmare right there.
She said, it's not like I work in a Chinese restaurant. Bro, you would think that if this was a joke, more people would be doing the Indian accent. Because what funny is, Indian accent is, I get it, it's awful, it's funny, but no one can ever do it except for Indians, right?
Yeah, that's
you notice
true.
white people have trouble with it, bro. They're real bad at it.
Yeah.
I've done it a few times. How's mine?
Yours is better, but it's still, I think, a little bit off. Obviously, it's not like... Your accent is, again, it's an exaggeration a little bit, right? Everyone, when we do accents, you kind of exaggerate, right? So I can't sit there and judge it and be like, well, how realistic is it? Because you're exaggerating the voice a little bit, right? I mean, when I do an impression, we exaggerate, right?
Yeah.
So it makes it funny. So, like, you know, anyway, moving on. Now we'll move on.
All right.
We're getting 49 minutes into the thing. And, yeah. But Trump, by the way, new company, Trump Mobile. You hear about this?
No.
Trump Mobile just launched. $500 smartphone. You could text anyone in the world for free. Or what is this? His son was like, we've decided that the cellular. This is how dumb this motherfucker is. He's going to try to compete with Verizon and AT&T and T-Mobile and Cricket. And my whole point is there's a million companies out there. And Trump Mobile.
Oh, crap. Yes, a gold-colored T1 phone, smartphone priced at $499. Set to release in late summer, August or September.
His son was like, we looked into this market and we realized there was a gap. Fucking Trump Jr.
Yeah, it's managed by Donald Jr. and Eric. Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, because his dad can't have the money in his name.
Here we go. They have a monthly 47 plan. $47
a month?
47th president. That's why they call it the 47 plan.
How much is it a month?
$47.45.
Yeah, so it's got to be 47.
Oh my God, $47.45. 45th and 47th president.
No, we're not marketing our father.
No, not at all.
Nothing to do with our dad.
No.
This is our business, dude. You remember we have a friend that was always like, that's my dad.
We're not going to name drop.
I'm not going to name him.
Whoever it sounds like such a prick.
Look, the bottom line is these kids, how blatant can you be and make money off of the American? I mean, look, a lot of Trumpers are going to get the 47 plan, I assume.
I mean, MAGA's going to eat this up, man. The MAGA crowd's going to eat this up. Only $47 a month, you know? And it's going to look like this. It's going to look like this right here. Boom.
Yeah.
There she is. There's the golden.
There she goes.
The gold-colored phone. Get out of here. The gold-colored phone from the Trump organization. Oh, how lovely.
I mean,
it's got American
you know
flag.
what? You know what I like about this is
gold.
Rednecks are going. Trumpers are going to buy this phone. They're going to pull it out, and thugs are going to run up to him and take that shit because it's gold. That shit becomes a target, bro. Not only now do you know he's a piece of shit, now you don't even mind robbing the guy. You know what I mean? You're like, this fucking piece of shit wants to take away our freedom. We going to fuck this motherfucker. You know what I mean? So, let me give a direction to the world. It is an iPhone. Right?
Yeah.
Wait, they made their own phone? Right? It's an iPhone. It's like a fake iPhone. It's like one of those. This literally is made in China. Come on, bro. Where's he making that phone? He cannot.
Where
Is it advertised made in the USA?
Manufactured.
I mean, it has to be USA.
Can't be in the USA because it's $499. So cheap.
It has to be USA, though. No one's doing business with it. You don't want tariffs on his own product.
Here we go. You ready for this?
Oh, God.
China.
Vietnam.
China.
No.
China. Yes.
Get out of here.
Yes. Chinese-made model. Yes. Assembled in Chinese factories like
By the way,
Wuxi and Kunming.
wait, go back to the phone, because that motherfucker ain't got nothing on there except he just copied the iPhone, right? Literally.
Right?
It looks like an iPhone with a gold case.
That's all it is. I mean,
It's a gold-plated
got
iPhone.
the home. Oh, he's still got a home button. Okay, so it's like an older iPhone. It's even worse. And the cameras are like kind of retarded. Like the guy's eyes get too far apart. What the fuck? All right, well, who is going to? It's going to be releasing all. Who's going to? Anyway, I'm sure plenty of people are going to buy it.
Well,
Look, so finally, he's going to save his. He's going to save his followers a little bit of money on the smartphone. I'll give him that. But that shit is not going to be good, bro. Dude, let me explain to you guys. Apple has so many years of experience, so many hours, thousands and thousands of hours, and thousands of people, literally,
well, they
that
could have
put their time into creating and designing and making the phone.
They could have
This motherfucker
poached.
came up with a phone in like 8 minutes.
They could have poached.
Yeah, but that's my point. If you poach, there's going to be issues with these phones, right? These phones are going to have flaws, right? They're going to have bugs. The software, who's writing the software in 10 minutes? You know what I mean? The software, we get an update like 3-5 times a year. The fucking guy writes the software.
I wonder what operating system it's going to run on too.
That's what I'm saying. Oh my God, dude.
What operating?
God. How can this even... How can he
Which
move?
cellular towers are going to run on?
Yeah, don't you have to put up towers?
Oh,
Yeah.
Android.
No, you can rent the towers.
Oh, you can
He's
rent?
Android.
Yeah.
Okay, so he signed a deal with Chinese company, Android company. He's like, make my phones.
That was a good one.
Oh God, I actually modeled it the way you do it. You know. Bro, you know what's funny? He just made a deal with Apple, and now he don't give a fuck, bro.
Yeah, I know.
This guy is the biggest slut in town, man.
Let's see here. They plan to ship production. They're saying they're planning to ship production to Alabama, California, or Florida, but no U.S.-made hardware available yet.
Yeah, Cali ain't buying it.
Bro. Oh man. Shit. All right, we're 55. I got a quick story to tell. Actually, I forgot to tell the story.
Yeah.
So I successfully pulled off this weekend a major accomplishment in my life, which is something I've never done before. And I successfully got my Uber driver's phone number.
Huh.
Which is unique.
Is it male or female?
Jay's looking at me like funny.
Male or female?
Female.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure.
Here's the funny part. I'll show you the text. She's like, I didn't actually get it in the car. I'm like, we're having a good conversation. I'm like, wait, do I break the? You got to know boundaries here. Like, do I actually ask her for her number? Do I ask her for the number right here? But I didn't do it. I was a pussy on that level. But I got into where I was going, which was playing poker at that moment. And I'm reflecting. I'm like, you idiot. You could have got her number. What are you doing? So I pretend I lost something in the Uber, contact her, and she's like, how'd you get my number? She goes, how'd you get my number? But she's like, I'll show you guys a text. I could send it over to you. She goes, but you were cute.
Creepy.
I'll admit it. So then she's like, you're cute. So she's like, it's cool. But then she's like, I'm just surprised Uber gave you my number. So she's like, are you a scammer? I'm like, no, I'm not a scammer.
But wait a minute. Wait. Did they really give you his direct number, or was it like another number that goes to her number?
It was another number that goes to her number. So listen to this now. So I get home from playing poker in the morning. I'm tired as hell. She's like, hit me in the morning. I hit her up. But I'm like, she's like, you can call me tonight. So I missed the call. I passed out. Wake up. It's the middle of the night on fucking Saturday. I'm like, fuck, I missed so much of the day. And so I hit her up Sunday morning.
We know.
I hit her up Sunday morning. and she had my Instagram, but she didn't add me, which I thought was weird. And so then I text her Sunday morning, hey, good morning, I forgot. And then I never hear back. So now I've been ghosted, but it's also not her number. It's Uber's number.
Why don't you just
But
tell,
here's another thing. Here's another concern I have. She might feel hat-fished because I had a hat on that night. So she went to my Instagram and seen that I have no hair.
Oh, who cares about that? That's not my concern right there. I'm wondering why you know that it's not really her number. Why didn't you ask her for it?
I didn't know that. I thought, she's like, how'd you get my number? So she's acting like I did have her number. So
she just doesn't know how it works. She just assumed that you have.
Well, look, okay, could you guys read these? Or no, is it backwards?
It's a little fuzzy. Nah, it's hard.
Get some glare. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. We did have I'll read out loud for our 8 viewers. We did have a great conversation, and when I looked at it, I did pull off and said, he's cute. Yeah, I didn't know Uber can do that either. I'm going to have to let them know. Don't give out my number. I'm not tripping off you, but nobody else. You can text me. I don't mind. And you said, and you get a smiley face. Not the emoji, but a smiley face. I'm glad we met.
I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Because I was worried. Like, is this girl going to be like, fuck you? What are you doing? But I have not heard from her. And I don't know what's happening. But anywho, funny story. Okay, got an interesting story at least, right?
Nice and light.
Nice and light.
Man.
We've kept, even though we have like 18 wars going on, we kept it nice and light somehow. The most of it.
Somehow.
And your family is directly in harm's way. Somehow we kept it somewhat light.
Somehow we kept it nice and light.
But anything else you guys want to speak? The Trump parade.
That's what comedians do, though, isn't it, Rags?
The Trump parade. You know what it looked like? It looked like
North Korea.
It looked like if Father's Day happened, the parade for Father's Day happened. Like so few people would show up because a lot of people don't have their fathers in this country. It's just open fields. Bro, the Trump rally was so bad that I swear to you, I watched the clip and I heard the squealing. You know, they had the old army vehicles. I heard the wheels squealing.
I saw that
because
too.
It was so quiet.
I saw that too.
I could hear the fucking wheels squealing.
You know, but I've heard conflicting reports about. I mean, I saw that, but I heard conflicting reports on whether or not, you know, how packed it was and how busy it was, and there was conflicting reports about the King's protest too, by the way, which we're not really getting into right now. But if we're just talking about just straight participation alone, you know, I got a lot of conflicting reports about both of those, about people on the right saying, you know, there's no one at the King's protest, opposite views from the left, and then people on the right with you know, Trump's rally or Trump's thing, you know, the 180'd everything, and then so did the left. So it's like another ending cycle of just like, can we give
at least one thing positive about both? I think they're like one person died. Could have been a lot worse, right?
Where did that die come from?
Utah.
Oh yeah,
and that don't really count. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Bro, I love you. I love Utah. No, I mean, look, I'm obviously joking. Utah does count.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned the one person who passed. It was a protester and the police shot her. But
Mormons need love too, Rags.
Let me tell you, everybody was on high alert on Saturday. Okay? My boy, my cousin knows someone in the LAPD, texts, hey, be careful Saturday. You might want to lay low. We're all on call. Yeah. Everybody's on call. It could get a little wild. So for our country, I'm proud of the United States for holding it together.
Yeah.
I'm proud of the Trumpers for not killing anybody at their parade. Because a lot of these left-wing reporters go into these Trump rallies, right?
Yeah.
And eventually you're worried, like one of them going to get hit. So I'm proud of Trumpers. I'm proud of lefties, for keeping it safe. Only person that's a piece of shit, Netanyahu, you murdered people again this weekend. Can't help yourself with Trump's backing, so we are our taxpayers, my dollars, your dollars, guys, paid for attacking Ferdo's family this weekend. But yeah, it's a weird situation. Jay, what was going on with you all weekend besides discussing your escape to fucking the islands? And by the way, if I'm a customs agent and I see Jay and Winter showing up to my booth, I'm gonna be completely suspicious about what they're doing because you guys, you're American citizens. You want to get you now? Okay. Anyway,
Actually, this weekend was pretty chill. Actually, yeah, nothing much.
That sounds fascinating.
And
So
it wasn't
fascinating.
literally.
you
anything.
sound like such a mature man.
No, okay. You know what? Actually, I'm excited about. I'm putting her on Sopranos for the first time. She's never seen it, so I'm very excited about that because I get to rewatch it again and
that's
bring
a
her to the
big
beauty
moment.
of the show.
Yeah.
That's a big, let me tell you, in a relationship, that's for us Jersey guys.
Yeah.
It's a big moment when you bring Sopranos. That means that you really like someone.
Oh yeah.
When you bring Sopranos DVD, well nowadays HBO Max
Yeah.
into their life, bro. That's a huge moment for a Jersey guy. I don't think you people realize how big of a moment that is for us.
100%.
I learned
To sit down and commit 59 hours to you, honey. That's a lot.
I also learned, speaking of Sopranos, I learned that the wife of a very, very, very close friend of ours has started watching Sopranos for the first time, too.
Okay.
Very, very close friend of ours.
Wait. Is this
Very close.
now? How far are they in?
I think they're like in season 3 or 4 now.
So she's into it fully.
Yeah, although she thought season 1 was kind of whack, which I couldn't believe I heard that. Or that was.
Well,
to me,
Sophie as a character gets in like halfway through season 1. Right.
Season 1, let me tell you, dude, I loved season 1 from the minute the minute of the fucking intro.
I know.
The intro itself was just like, oh my god, we're here.
Now
And
I do
and
recognize.
now I do look back at season 1 now and go, oh, it's so corny compared to later seasons.
Yes,
Just by the way, by the quality of the shooting of the camera.
Yes.
Actually, Sopranos is an amazing show to study as a film historian, to see the camera and how much the quality improved.
Also,
From one to the end.
Gandolfini was trying to find
his character
a little bit too.
Yeah.
It felt like in season
exactly.
1. And like you said, Jay, I think you, to your point, like it wasn't until halfway through the season where he really found it. I think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he became the guy. He didn't find the character.
There
He
you go.
literally became the guy.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, poor guy.
And we love that.
Yeah.
We love that so much.
And it's funny because like she's one of those that asks the questions about what's going to happen during the show, which I'm just like,
What percentage? Now, does your wife do that? Does she ask questions during a show or a movie?
Yeah, here and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here and there, though, she's good about kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the most part.
What about Winter?
No, all the time. She's like, so is Pussy really a rat? I'm like, just watch. Like, you really want me to answer?
Okay, but that's okay. Is Pussy really a rat? Because it's like she's just like, okay, she doesn't expect you to really answer it, right? So she's just like, but there is a lot of times where women will interrupt that I've experienced and just ask fucking questions that have nothing to do with the plot or the actual what's going on in the episode. It's something in the background about some dumb shit.
See, that would
I'm telling
infuriate
you.
me if we're watching Sopranos, something like that.
But yeah, oh man, that's listen. Like I said, yeah,
Like you said, right? It's a
keep
big
quiet.
Step. It's a big step.
All right.
It's a huge step.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you, I'll really be impressed. This is when I'm going to know you want to marry her. When you make her watch the Ramayana. That's the Indian book, by the way. Those, like the book of Hinduism. Or Mahabharata. That's another book of Indians. But that's going to be the final frontier, bitch. Final Frontier. Final Frontier for Jay is when he shows her the animals getting slaughtered in the meat houses. Right? Or have you already done that?
No comment.
Oh my god!
Of course, we know that's a step. That's a step in the process.
Wait, is she vegetarian? Is she vegetarian too?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Wait. Is that because of you?
I don't know. I feel like she was leaning that. I never asked her, but I just feel like.
Wait! You showing her slaughter videos,
No,
but
I
you
never
never
showed
asked her.
I didn't show her slaughter videos, as you guys witnessed.
What, I acted them out during sex? Like, what do you mean? I didn't show her slaughter videos.
No. She wants to hear my thoughts on everything.
Okay.
So I explained.
So let me test you as a man. What's her favorite meal?
Conti's pizza. That and
Okay.
she
Really?
she,
Conti's?
she loves onion
Okay.
pizza from Conti's. Yeah.
What's her favorite type of food if it's not Conti's pizza?
favorite type of food? If it's
Like
not
like cuisine, like favorite kind of cuisine, you know.
Like,
didn't-
okay, your anniversary is going to be coming up in about 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months to think about that, Rags.
No.
So, listen, I'm saying, what if tomorrow her friend hits you up and is like, it's a big day for her. This is a big week for her next week. You know, you should do something special and take her out to her favorite food. Where are you going to think immediately to take her out favorite food besides Conti's?
So that's what she's actually ordered, from my observation, the most often. So I assume that's her favorite. But I put her on Indian food. She absolutely loves that. Chinese food she absolutely loves. Like,
She orders Conti's all the time?
yeah, and I put her on Carlucci's. She loves Carlucci's too. So, like, yeah.
Wait, what's she just eating cheese? Like,
Uh-huh.
all these places are cheese. That's the only thing they have.
No, that's it. Here's the weird part.
She's not eating meat.
Uh-huh.
She's not eating meat. God damn, I can imagine your farts after you guys sleep.
No.
During the middle of the night. After Conti's, bitch. God damn, bitch. Let me ask you this. Have you done the ultimate fucking bring next level relationship? Dutch oven. Have you trapped her under a fart yet?
Nah.
Oh, man. That is the ultimate rite of passage in my world.
Yeah, you guys aren't really. You're not there yet. Then you're not there yet.
The trap and the fart, or the fart right, bam.
I mean, I definitely let one loose in bed before, but I didn't
I'm
do
sure-
I didn't do the trap.
No, but do you let it loose? Do you let it loose and not give a shit if she hears it? That's what I want to know.
No, I try to have some decorum.
No.
See, the way I do it, it's very
Gotta-
sneaky. If you're going to do that, I do it. I'm very silent and deadly, so I won't make it obvious. I'll fucking make sure the blanket's already on, right? And I'll make sure it's in a position where the steam just lingers in from the slow fucking. You know what I'm saying? Oh God, from like an egg fart. It's like you eat like 7 eggs. You know what I mean? 7-egg omelet with mushrooms, onions. Get it going.
Whoever's
Real nice.
farting, please stop.
The fart just lingers in. So I don't even, see, the Dutch oven is not great because you got to trap them under the,
Yeah.
I want to trap them without fucking using any type of obvious fucking, any type of force or
Me too. With those egg
physical.
farts, they
When
don't
you
need
do a
trapping.
deadly one,
the whole room
dude,
gets
you ever had a fart that's so smelly it just disappoints you in yourself? Right? Like, it's just like disappointed in yourself as a human being. You're like, what have I become? You know what I mean? Like, like that. I've had that fart and been like, really not mad at myself. Like, but you gotta shape up and like make it smell.
Yeah, I'm like,
Oh,
yo, you gotta
God.
change your
Alright.
diet. You're rancid
Let's,
ass stomach.
Bro, eggs, bro. Them eggs will crush you.
We've been at
I ate breakfast burritos out here. A lot of them with them eggs in there.
Oh.
All right. Anyway.
All right,
Anywho.
we're at the 110 mark. Let's wrap it
right,
up
we're
here.
Let's wrap it
Good
up.
episode, guys. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope it was all right. We'll
Thanks
see
for
you next
watching.
time.
Thanks for
We'll
watching.
see you
Thanks for
next-
listening. We'll see you next time.